Right back here on the early line at Joe and Donnie talking some NFL action. I was reminded, one of the producers got to me, it is going to be Kevin Walsh tomorrow night that does join us in studio for Pro Football Today. So the boys will be all together, having a lot of fun. Maybe full suits, maybe tuxedos. We never know. Joe Lisi always dressed in nines. We'll see him live and in charge. But before we get there, we do have a preview to go over. It's a great game, Joe. Buffalo, Miami, both teams 1-0. Each team pulled out a win in their game. Big comebacks on both sides here in the second half. Buffalo beat an underwhelming Arizona Cardinals team, but a very game Jacksonville Jaguars team. By the way, Joe, had the chance to watch that game all the way through. That Travis Etienne fumble in the third quarter changed that game completely. That should have been a Jaguars victory, which turned into a loss. These two teams will face off. Both of these teams now, Joe, FanDuel Sports Book to win the division, plus 180 on either side. The favorite in this game to win this one, it's Miami at a minus 2.5 point price and a total that sits at 48.5. First look at this game tomorrow night, Thursday. What is it?
Yeah, I'm a Dolphin fan, but I'm going to take the Bills, Donnie, plus the 120 on the money line, plus the points, and I think the game sails through the 48.5. I think this is one game where both offenses will eat. I watched that game as well, and the way Jacksonville ran with authority against that front seven, I think it's going to continue with Josh Allen and, more importantly, James Cook in regards to this matchup. I think they're able to wear down Miami, get chunk plays. I love James Cook at plus 160 for an anytime touchdown. I think he can get up to 100 in regards to this matchup. They didn't utilize him in the goal line against Arizona. I expect a big presence on the road. I just think Buffalo's the better team. It really comes down to, forget what you want to say about what they lost. They're still more complete offensively and defensively and have the best quarterback on the field in Josh Allen. I think that's the difference.
It's going to be a great game to watch, but I agree with you because talking to you on Sunday, I know you were high on James Cook. Now, granted, me driving home just listening on the radio wasn't able to get a view of what was going on. The one thing I do know is Josh Allen is tremendous. Maybe the best overall quarterback in the NFL. Donnie, it's Patrick Mahomes. I'm talking rushing, running, arm strength, all that. The intangibles, he gives you everything. But, Joe, he can't go through a season where he's running 2 touchdowns in a game, throwing 2 touchdowns. He has to be the everything. James Cook looked tremendous in that game. And going forward, you saw last week what happened to Josh Allen. Diving into the end zone, injures the non-throwing hand. Hey, buddy, you can hand the football off and probably get the same exact results. And I do think Joe Brady and that offense will determine that, saying it's a Thursday night game. My quarterback is banged up. When we're on the 3-yard line, do we call a quarterback sweep or just hand the football off to Cook? I love the look for Cook to get into the end zone. On the other side for the Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa in that offense, explosive as it gets. Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane didn't do much on the ground last week, Joe, but the air attack is where they made it happen. Deep plays for Waddle. I know you had him alted up over his yards. He hits that easily. You had Tyreek Hill going over 100 with a touchdown. Are we going to see that type of offensive output? Because quite frankly, I wasn't all that happy with that Buffalo defense against Arizona, but a different quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa is, let's just say, mobile, but not to the degree that Kyler Murray is, which he made a lot of things happen by himself and extending plays. That's not going to happen tomorrow night.
No, it's not, but I still think Tua gets over the 264.5. I mean, think about that matchup at the end of the regular season last year, right? It was more of a rushing attack. That's where Buffalo grounded down Miami. Tua was inconsistent with the interceptions. You have to go fast and put the pressure on Josh Allen to match them score for score, right? Buffalo had success, even though they fell behind 17-3, because they were able to run the football effectively, and then he worked off a play action. They're still not built to have Josh Allen chuck it 50 times a game to jump out to leads. It's all predicated on the physicality of the offensive line. So I think that's the difference between both offenses, Buffalo and Miami. Miami, you have the Ferrari, you have Tyreek, you have Waddle. I think both of those players eat, and you have to, right, Donnie? I mean, Miami has success when both of those guys are in their numbers, 96, 62, Waddle gets to 80. They have about 200 yards receiving between them, and Tua has 400 because he's utilizing everyone in regards to the passing attack. Even Achane coming out of the backfield is an option. So I think we look Miami passing and Buffalo on the ground Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the props once again in just a moment, but I wanted to get this up here too. The Miami Dolphins plus 180 to win that division. Same exact price for the Buffalo Bills at plus 180. Goes a long way, obviously, in that game tomorrow, where the winner is going to be the decided advantage to win it. Why? Because the head-to-head matchup, they've won it. Also, they have a better record. Let me ask you a question, though. If the Buffalo Bills do lose tomorrow, which technically they're favored to do so, is that a good buy-in point for the Buffalo Bills on their odds to win the AFC and the AFC East at that point? Or are you just not as high on the Buffalo Bills or maybe like somebody better in the AFC East?
No, I talked about it with you and Kevin on Sunday. I actually believe, I'm buying in on Buffalo this year. The expectation isn't there. It's all on Cincinnati and Baltimore and now Houston and C.J. Stroud. What were they? Plus 950 to win the AFC at the start of the year. So if they lose this game and potentially, let's say for an AFC championship, go double digits, 10, 11, 12 to 1, I think it's a buy-in fact. In regards to the AFC, I'm still hands down. I've never changed. Even being a Dolphin fan, I got to look at it objectively. Buffalo owns the division. Somehow, some way, they'll find a way to win it, and they still have the best quarterback in regards to the division, right? Josh Allen is better than Tua. Yeah. He's better than Aaron Rodgers in that offense in New York, and he's certainly better than Jacoby Brissett. So you want to give me 180 before this game starts, I'm not swaying.
And the one thing we need to see about the Buffalo Bills is that offense with a chance to mature. It was ready set the past couple of years here. I like the tight end combinations here. Cook looks like he can be that lead dog here. I just need to see, like Keon Coleman had a decent game on Sunday. Take a look at Shakir and also Mac Hollins, who caught a touchdown pass at the end of that first quarter. That they need to show me a little bit more of saying, I can step up in the biggest moments. Because as we know, Joe, you're going to go up against one of the best wide receiver combinations in football in Hill and Waddle. So let me ask you this question again with the props quickly here. Tyreek Hill, 97.5 receiving yards. Jaylen Waddle at 63.5. If you had to take one bet in this football game of who you're going to go over on the receiving yards, which one of those guys would you take?
Waddle, secondary option, right? Because, again, you always want to take away the best option for the quarterback. And even though it is Tyreek Hill, Waddle has such a cheap number. He got, 90 yards in regards to Jacksonville? So you want to hang a 63 number on Jaylen Waddle. I'll up them up to 80 to 100 on Thursday night.
Always fun to talk football here with Joe, Lisi, and also week 1 to week 2. A lot of changes are going to happen in the NFL, no doubt about it. But the boys will be in studio tomorrow night to watch it all go down between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Don't miss out. Joe, Lisi's going to carry the rest of the show. He's on a hot streak, pension plays left and right. Don't go anywhere. Watch out.